Sawadee, everyone. Hello, it's Bry with Ty. Brian McMillan here. It is the new year. New year, new me, as many people say, and as I just said. I'm not going for a new me this year. It's going to be the same old me. In fact, it'll be the same, a little bit older me this year. Now entering the later part of life, but enjoying all of life, staying active as can be. I just wanted to take this opportunity to talk about the year ahead a little bit, as if you care about what I have to say. And I hope you do, because you're here on my YouTube channel watching this video at this time. I'm trying this year not to be me. Yes, I'm trying not to be me. I'm trying not to be self. I'm trying not to be Brian. As a practicing Buddhist, that's what we're trying to do, is to detach from the self. Years ago, now so many years ago when I was born, someone looked down upon me and said, let's call him Brian. And from that point on, I became known as Brian. Brian didn't exist before that. Brian was created at that time by those people who named me and then educated me. And as I grew up, I began to see myself, as Brian, and that's the way all of us are. But prior to that, we didn't exist. We as Brian didn't exist, me as Brian didn't exist, but there was a life essence there. In fact, again, as a Buddhist, and I'm not going to go on in this video talking about my Buddhist beliefs too much, but we've had countless lifetimes prior to this lifetime, and we're fortunate to be here as a human, because as a human we can realize these things and we can do something about it, to detach, to let go of all of this, to let go of what the left brain, this is my left side over here, or this is the left side over here, what the left brain is telling us is a self. The left brain is telling us what reality is. The left brain is constantly talking to us. It's that internal voice constantly telling you how you feel, what you think, what you believe, and so on, so on, so on, so. When actually the point is to not be self, is to not be me, is to not be Brian in my case, but to just be. It is good enough to just be the one who knows, the observer, the camera, if you will, the camera that's looking at the subject, not being the subject, not being attached to all that we see, not being attached to all that the camera sees, just being an observer to all of it. Setting that now aside, my wife and I had a discussion yesterday about what we can do looking forward to this year that we hope to live through in a good way. And she believes in mantras. And I guess I do too. I'm often saying to myself, not certain, not self, not certain, not self. One of my Buddhist teachers, Ajahn Chah, who has long passed, often said, it's nothing is certain. Not certain, not self. So one of the other mantras, or three mantras actually, my wife has asked me to consider for this year, moving ahead of 2024, is number one, I am good enough. I am good enough. Oftentimes, there's this feeling that we're not quite up to the task before us. We're not performing as well as we could. But she says, and I believe, that if we convince this so-called self by repeating, I am good enough, we'll be good enough. We'll feel good enough. This left side of the brain will think, okay, good enough. I'll shut up a little bit. Number two, I am happy with what I have. I have long been happy with what I have, I will say, since meeting my wife now many years ago. And that happiness continues. And that brings us to mantra number three. I'm deserving, I'm looking at my notes, I'm deserving of this happiness that I have, the joy that I have. I'm deserving of that. I'm good enough. I am happy with what I have, and I deserve this happiness. The I again that the left brain tells me exists is Brian. Bri with tie, as we see down here, I am good enough. I'm happy with what I have, and I deserve this happiness. So those are the three mantras going into 2024. I'm not asking you to have the same. Do whatever you like to do, or no mantras at all. Just be aware. Just as I was saying about being the camera, just be the camera. Just look at things. Be the observer. Be the witness to the life that you find this self, so-called self, in. Just watch. Just be the camera. Again, one of my other teachers of my Buddhist studies has said to me, just be the camera. Just watching, just looking. That's Ajahn T, a wonderful monk who is residing in Turku, Finland. He's a Theravadan monk from Thailand living in Turku. Just watch, just be, just look, be the camera. Okay, switching subjects. I want to talk a little bit about media. I spent the major part of my adult life thus far in the media, so-called media, that is, the mass media of what is now yesterday, television, radio, newspapers. I was a newspaper publisher for many years in the United States, and had a TV show briefly, a talk show, and radio, had been in radio both as a newscaster but also as a talk show host as well. And I found that at that time in the media, my job, as I was trained for, was to present the news, present the events, the facts, those things that were happening in the communities where I was working. Today's media, if we talk about the mass media, not social media, but mass media as it still exists, the CNNs of the world and the ABCs and NBCs and BBCs and whatever C's are out there, it seems to me, this Brian here, that all the media does these days is talk about what ifs and ifs. They're constantly asking the question, not what happened, what took place, and then reporting it to us objectively, but they're constantly asking this question about what if this happens? What if that happens? What if he is convicted? What if she is found guilty? What if the voters do this? What if? They're not really reporting much of anything other than what they find in polls. I'm so tired of polls, because polls are not the outcome of what happens in life every day. They're merely people's opinions about what could happen, what may happen, what might happen. And then news agencies, so-called news agencies, report these things as if somehow this is fact. It's not fact. The only fact is it's just someone's opinion about something. It's not what's taken place yet. And I know I may be sounding like a far right or far left or wherever you want to be extremist, talking about how corrupt the media is. I wouldn't say the media is corrupt. I think it's misguided today. I think that it's focusing on the wrong thing. It's not just presenting to us the facts and letting us decide what to do with those facts, what impact those facts have on us. It's creating stories out of its questions of what if this happens? What if that happens? What if he goes there? What if she goes there? What if we do this? What if we do that? Too many what ifs, too many mights, too many maybes, and not enough what. If by chance some of my former colleagues, especially I have in mind one particular managing editor who worked for me, are listening to this, you know what I'm talking about. We reported what was happening in the communities that we were responsible to as journalists. We occasionally wrote under the heading editorial opinion, this is what we think. But our job, primary job, was to report the facts and let our readers decide what they thought. Let our listeners, our viewers decide what they thought, including what they thought of our editorial opinion. But we straight out called it, this is our opinion. It's not a fact, it's only what we think. But again, today's media, every question they pose, every interview they have is all about, well, what if this happens? What if that happens? What will you do if this happens or that happens? Let it happen and then report on it. My wife would say to me right now in Thai, Jayen, Brian, Jayen, Jayen Yen, calm down, calm down. I'm calm. I'm just passionate about facts and the truth and the things as they are, seeing things as they really are. And the only way to see things as they really are is to not attach to everything with this, where I started, so-called self. So those are some of the thoughts that were on my mind as I begin this new year of 2024. And speaking of starting the new year of 2024, Cook and I are going to be off to Thailand as we do every year. We'll be heading out for a couple months, and that's taking place in a couple weeks from now, a few weeks from now. And then we'll be returning to our home here in Finland. Finland's a country we've come to love and is our home. Regardless of where we come from in the world, as you know, Cook is Thai by birth. I'm American by birth, even though I'm descended from Scotch, Irish, German, French, Native American, Iroquois, my dad's side of the family, and on my mom's side of the family, 100% Ukrainian. Cook, born, as I said, and raised in Thailand, came here to Finland and became a Finnish citizen. However, she's still a Thai citizen as well, too. I maintain my American citizenship, but I am a permanent resident of this corner of Northern Europe known as Finland, where it's really cold. So that's why we're heading out of here. It was this morning minus 26 Celsius where we live, near what's known as the capital region, or near to Helsinki. Further north, up in the Arctic Circle part of Finland, they had temperatures as low as minus 40. Yes, minus 40 on the Celsius scale. And that is just cold. That is just bone-breaking, skin-freezing cold. So we're going to be out of here and warm up for a bit. We'll be gone, as I said, a couple of months. We come back in April or by April, and then things begin to warm up here, hopefully. And for the month of May, we're actually going to do a road trip from here in Finland. We'll depart from Helsinki, take a ship with our car to Stockholm, and then from there we'll be driving into Norway, Denmark, Germany for an extended family event there, big one, big birthday events there. And then I think on the return trip, we're going to keep going in the direction that we started out and make it a full circle. So we'll be heading into Poland, Latvia, Lithuania, Estonia, and then back on the ship here to Finland, and enjoy what we hope will be a glorious Finnish summer. And the summers here are usually quite glorious. Nice, fresh, clean air, cool temperatures, and beautiful nature all around us. So, Bri with Thai, about to say bye. But before I do, I want to remind you, it is my YouTube channel. I'll get it right. My YouTube channel, Bri with Thai, that you're viewing. And I hope that you will like and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate when you do that. And please share anything on that channel that you'd like to share. There are a lot of videos up there. I think I'm approaching the number of 100 or so on all kinds of topics, including a little bit of English teaching for those people who are native to the Thai language and want to get started in the English language. I just couldn't leave teaching behind. You know, I spent the major part of my career, as I said in this video, in media, mass media. And then coming here to Finland afforded me the opportunity to become a teacher. I never saw myself as a teacher, even though I raised a child and tried to teach that child well. I don't know if I succeeded at that, since I don't talk to that child anymore, and that child doesn't talk to me, because that child has become an adult who doesn't have any need for me. I guess whatever I provided wasn't enough for that person. But anyway, let's not go there. As my wife often says, I had the opportunity now 20 years ago to come here to Finland, over 20 years ago. This will be my 21st year of living in Finland. And I was a teacher in the Finnish government and business and industry and media as well too. And not only teaching the English language, but how to use that language as a public speaker. And it's been a wonderful adventure, and I really thank Finland for the opportunity to be able to do that. So here I am, still publicly speaking. As I was saying, Bry with Thai. No, it's this way. Yeah, Brian with Thai, my YouTube channel. Please subscribe and like. I would really appreciate that. And share too. Please share. Sharing is caring. Sawadee Kap. I wish you all Suksan Pimai, which is a very happy new year. And please, please be happy. You're good enough. And you deserve all the happiness that you get from this life. And be safe as well too. Take care, everyone.